Hi everyone, this is LT4. I can solve proportions to find the missing value. And this is a challenge video, so if at any point while you're watching this it's too difficult, I'll have the link to the first video in the description below. And then also we're going to be solving more complicated solving for x problems, so I'll link the video to the challenge solving for x in the description below. Okay, so on these we're still using cross multiplication like we did in LT4 this chapter. So I have 2x times 2, which is 4x. But then be careful when you're going along this diagonal, because I'm doing 3 times x plus 1. So I need to keep that x plus 1 in the parentheses, because I'm multiplying 3 by this entire quantity. So remember, I just have 4x on this side. And then when I have a number in front of the parentheses like this, I'm distributing. So I have 3 times x, and then 3 times 1. And so 3 times x is 3x. And then 3 times 1 is 1, so 3 times 1 is 3, so I have plus 3. And then, like I was saying in the Solving for X challenge video, if I ever have x's on both sides, the goal is same as we've been doing before. Is to get all the x's on one side and all the units on the other side. And normally it doesn't matter if the x's are over here or if the x's are over here. But for this one, because I already have units here, why don't I try to move the 3x over here so I can combine these two? So this is positive 3x. So the opposite of adding 3x is subtracting 3x. And then I have my 0 pair. I bring down the 3. And then over here, 4x minus 3x is just 1x, or just x. So I'm actually finished with that one. So x equals 3. Okay, so number 2, same idea. I'm still cross multiplying. And even though there's a fraction within this fraction, we're still going to do the same thing. So going this way, I have 6 times x plus 2, x minus 2. But remember, you have to keep it in parentheses because you're multiplying 6 by that entire quantity right there. And then over here, I have 1/2 x times 8. So I have 1/2. I'm going to put the x in front actually, so it's not in the way. So I have x times 1/2 times 8. And it doesn't matter if I put the x out here or back here, because with multiplying, it doesn't matter if I switch the order. So remember, to make 8 a fraction, I put a 1 underneath. Let's start on this side. So 6 times x would be 6x. 6 times negative 2 would be negative 12. And then over here, remember when you multiply fractions, you just go straight across. So 1 times 8 is 8. And then 2 times 1 is 2, and then 8 divided by 2 is 4. So basically this just ends up being 4x. And then we have the same idea that went on over here. The idea is I want to get all the x's on one side and all the units on the other side. And so here, because I have units over here, why don't I try to move the 6x onto this side? So this 6x is positive because there's nothing in front of it. So if this is positive 6x, the opposite is negative 6x. So that's my 0 pair. This is negative 12 equals, and that's negative 2x. And then remember, if I'm multiplying by negative 2, the opposite is dividing by negative 2. So that means a negative divided by negative is a positive, so my answer would be 6. So even though both of these have a little bit more complicated terms in them, you're still just cross multiplying and solving for x.